We are so thrilled to be here tonight to talk about the future of skincare. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jess Diner, I'm Beauty Director at Vogue, and I'm here with my fabulous co-host, Femi Fetto.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello. We're going to go into introductions very shortly, but I just thought I would introduce the evening, tell you what you can expect, because we have such an incredible evening in store for you tonight. So, just a little bit about what we're going to be talking about and what's going to be going on. We're going to be covering all of your burning skincare questions. So it will be things such as the biggest skincare trends, the skinification of makeup, which is a term I'm quite obsessed with.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All the ingredients you need to know about now and going forward into the future. And also why sleep is so vitally important when it comes to skincare, because that's a huge sort of buzz term at the moment, isn't it? I'm delighted to say we have the most incredible all-star cast of experts with us tonight, and we're going to introduce them, as I said, a little bit later. But before we get to that, I just wanted to go through a few bits of housekeeping before we get started. So for those of you who've joined a Vogue event before, you will know that we love to see your posts. We love for you to share your experiences from the evening. So please share any tips that you've picked up from tonight on your social using the hashtag #FutureOfSkincare. Please be sure to tag British Vogue and all our fabulous brand partners who have joined us tonight. And as I said, we'll be bringing them on very shortly. For those of you who enter, we have a very cool Vogue goodie bag to be won, which includes a Vogue annual subscription and also a Vogue hoodie, which we can't even get our hands on in the office. So very jealous to whoever might win that this evening. Be sure to have your goodie bag to hand that some of you will have received in advance of tonight. If yours hasn't arrived yet, don't worry, it's on its way. But we'll be doing a bit of live demo play this evening as we talk through all of the skincare trends and products. We will be making this evening shoppable. So there will be a chat function whereby links will be shared with the products that we're talking about. So if you want to browse and maybe purchase the products that we're talking about tonight, it's all there. All the information will be available to you. And as you know, to make it even more interactive, we love to hear your questions. So please use the Q&A box, it's at the bottom of your screen, to let us know your burning beauty questions, and we will have time dedicated at the end of the session to ask the experts all of your skincare questions. So without further ado, I want to bring on our fabulous panel this evening. So my co-host, we didn't plan to basically dress the same, but somehow we did.
Completely coincidental.
Genuinely coincidental.
We're twinning today.
So my beauty twin for this evening. Just a little bit about yourself, Femi.
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Femi Fetto. I'm a contributing editor at British Vogue, and I write about beauty, all things beauty. So that's trends, new products, hottest new ingredients, the future of skincare, which is very apt because that's what we're here to talk about today.
Absolutely. And all the way from the US, actually all of our panels joining us tonight are from the US. So I'm going to say good afternoon to Liz Starr. Liz is Executive Director of Global Product Development at Origins. Welcome, Liz.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I have been leading the product development team at Origins for over 17 years and have had the great good fortune to work on some of the biggest breakthroughs based on high quality active natural ingredients. Mushrooms are a great example, which are in some of our best-selling products. I've also had the pleasure of spearheading the development of all the new innovations, as well as advancing the performance of our hero products in all categories, from farm to formula and from concept to counter.
Brilliant, thank you, Liz. And amazing. I know we're going to go into quite a lot of granular detail about mushrooms later this evening because they are fabulous. I would also like to welcome Dr. Nadine Pernaday. Dr. Nadine is no stranger to a Vogue virtual event. She has joined us before for our 5 days of beauty. All the way from our labs, she is Vice President of Global Research and Development for Skin Biology and Bioactives at the Estée Lauder companies. Nadine, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good evening. So excited to be again with you tonight. And so I'm Nadine Pernaday. I've been actually with the company for 14 years. And this is today my anniversary, November 1st, 2007.
Happy anniversary. That's wonderful.
That's wonderful, yes. So I am leading the skin biology research, of course, to understand what's happening in skin, how skin is being damaged and how we can repair it. I am also leading the bioactive group where we are developing the technologies that are going to formulation, including the fermentation group that we have here in-house. I am, of course, behind all the Estée Lauder products for the new research, the new development, and the new technologies. So I'm so excited to be with you again tonight.
Thank you so much for joining us. I would now like to welcome Janet Pardo, who is Senior Vice President of Global Product Development at Clinique. Sorry, everyone has such fabulous titles.
Yeah,
I can't
get it out.
Janet, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here today to talk to you about Clinique. I've been with the Estée Lauder companies for just turned 30 years. I'm very happy to be able to say that. But most of my time has been on this beautiful brand, Clinique. I worked very closely and still do with Clinique's guiding dermatologists to create amazing skincare products that are safe, allergy tested, fragrance-free, trusted, with results you can see in the mirror. And also responsible, which a lot of people don't realize, that Clinique is a makeup house as well. So also responsible for all the wonderful makeup products. So it's wonderful to be here.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Janet. And then last but by no means least, we have the amazing Gabrielle Nevin, who is Vice President of Product Development at Bobbi Brown Cosmetics. Gabrielle, hi, how are you?
Hi, good evening, and hi to everyone on the call that we can't see. I'm so happy to be here, and as Janet was saying, how Clinique is also a color brand, is that Bobbi Brown is also a skincare brand, and I'm so happy to be able to be on this panel with everyone to talk about our amazing skincare through a makeup artist lens, which is so important. It's such an integral part of our brand and everything that we do. I had started actually at Bobbi Brown 20 years ago in this as a skincare category lead. And since then, I am now the Vice President leading all categories from color to foundation to skincare. So thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
Amazing. So I think we can all agree there is a wealth of skincare expertise on this call this evening. I think if we were to tally up the years, we would be plentiful. So now everyone has had a moment to introduce themselves. I would love to just get going, get into the nitty gritty, because that's what we're here to talk about tonight. And thank you again to everyone who has joined us. We're going to welcome on Dr. Nadine and Janet for the first portion of the evening. And Finmi, I'm going to hand over to you to get some questions going.
Yes, because we have a lot to get through
yes.
Tonight or this afternoon, this morning, wherever you are in the world. So I want to start with you, Dr. Nadine. I'd love to know what innovations are we seeing and expected to see coming out of the Estée Lauder labs, the skincare labs?
So after working on epigenetics, and we still do, and mechanobiology, we are now focusing on what is called systems biology. And systems biology is inspired by the medical field, where really you consider skin as one system, which means you consider skin with all the different skin cell types working together, communicating with each other, but also understanding their own microenvironment and how their microenvironment is changing and therefore responding to it. So this is, again, now one big system that we have to understand with new techniques, new method, and you will see, but I cannot say, coming next year, we will present to you, introduce to you.
I knew, as I asked that question, I knew that you're not going to reveal all the secrets. But, you know, I thought I should try.
I'll say a little hint, though, that we have found really a new way to see how damage is creating in skin cells at very, very early stage, and how now we will be able to address very, very early repair in order to help skin cells and skin in general, of course, to get the skin benefits. As well, I will say, as a big trend, but it's no news. It's not really a trend. I mean, we've been working on being inspired by nature for years and years with many ingredients. It's going to stay. We're learning more from nature. We're learning more from fermentation. And we will talk a little bit more about this in the ingredients part, but this is something that is going to continue definitely for the Estée Lauder brand.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Nadine. And I'd like to pose that same question to you, Janet. What are the innovations that we can see coming out of Clinique?
Well, at Clinique, you know, we've always strived to create great skin for all, and we try to do that all the time, primarily safely and effectively, which is a very hard thing to do. It's kind of like dancing on the head of a pin. We're constantly listening to our doctors. It is to do something really effectively, lots of actives, and then safe at the same time. Not so easy to do. It's Nadine will say, will vouch for that. That it really takes quite a bit of art and chemistry to be able to do that. But we're constantly listening to our doctors for patient insights. We're very close to our doctors as well as consumers to hear what they're looking for in their products, what skin concerns they have, and what skin goals they hope to achieve. Clinique has over 50 plus years of experience in developing products and leveraging expertise from scientists, doctors, dermatologists, allergists, toxicologists, microbiologists. And we use that in everything we do to understand what has worked in the past, what opportunities exist, and how we can innovate further to deliver products that our consumers will love and can continue to trust. One thing that we have always known is that skincare is not one size fits all, nor has it ever been. Clinique has been saying that for 50 plus years. Remember, we were born out of a doctor's office. No two skins are alike. Our formulation principles follow that biological fact, and we work very hard to ensure that we're creating great skin for all. In the labs, we're continuing to bring over 50 years of research and continue to innovate products. So for ageless consumers, that means what ingredients do we need to focus on that's relevant for all skins, because not everybody ages the same. That's a great innovation. You know, you need to understand that. You know, not everybody ages in the same place. Like, you know, we know certain people have issues here, some people have issues on their forehead. And for hyperpigmentation, it's the same thing. We're constantly working closely with our doctors to see what innovations, what ingredients, what procedures are coming out that can raise that bar and address those concerns, mainly creating a topical cosmetic that can rival the performance of a prescription or a procedure. How about that? And none of this works, okay, unless you use your sunscreen. And it doesn't matter if your skin is fair or melanin rich.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something I'm obsessed with, and I tell everyone.
That's a big innovation conversation. We are obsessed with sunscreen innovation. Because you need to protect your skin, not only from UV, okay, the world has changed. It's not just about the sun anymore. It's blue light, it's your devices, it's pollution, it's dust, it's yellow sand, wherever you are in the world. It's all of those things. It's allergens. And we're constantly working on new sunscreen formulations that marry beautiful textures with effective 360 protection. We don't want people to be afraid to wear their sunscreen. It's not about fear. You should want to grab it and use it and love it and see how wonderful it complements all your other repair products.
Amazing.
And actually, it's, you know, as beauty editors, it's something that you're constantly talking about, and also to hear it from your sort of clinical expertise as well, I think is just really hitting the message home. So everyone, SPF.
Yes. And remember, a lot of sunscreen now, sunscreen from Clinique, it's skincare. It's, don't think of it as sunscreen. It's
not just
skincare.
a holiday.
Don't be afraid. You know, don't be afraid. And the textures are beautiful. So, you know, use it, love it, and everything else will work better.
Janet, I had another question from you, because, you know, we're talking about skincare trends. Clinique was one of those brands that was almost the originator of one of sort of the first skincare trends, which was, you know, the three-step routine. So do you think you could just tell us a little bit about the history of that, and then what you're predicting as your most innovative product in the portfolio at the moment? So I know you've got a very exciting product.
Yeah, three-step is so near and dear to my heart. You know, when it launched in 1968, it came out of a doctor's office. It was actually formulations that came from a doctor's office that the doctor gave to patients when he prescribed a medication. That proposition of cleansing, exfoliating, and moisturizing. But we did so by understanding your skin first. It was the first custom fit prestige brand. But it was cherry on top of the cake was it was allergy tested and 100% fragrance free. Clinique was a pioneer in the industry for doing this type of testing on formulations. You know, skincare is a huge topic on social media. It's just as relevant today as it was then. People want individual, custom fit skincare that's right for them. You see this on TikTok, skinfluencers, trends like, you know, Derm Talk, allowing consumers to learn more about their skincare routine and ingredients. Having a conversation with somebody, asking questions that a doctor would ask you so that you understand what your specific concerns are and you can get a prescribed regimen of products that are right for you. You know, the increased need to learn more about our changing environment, like we were just talking about before. It's not just about the sun anymore. You know, it's also about everything else that's going on around us and inside of us, like hormonal changes. And also all the medications. People take a lot of medications these days, you know, and what role does all of that play in skin damage and the intricacies of their skin? You know, so that's just all this conversation that happened in 1968 is still so very relevant. Even more so now. You know, one increasing concern we're seeing is hyperpigmentation, with an average of 273,000 searches for hyperpigmentation and further 400,000 for dark spots every single month. And the search increases by 30% in the last year alone. Consumers want brighter, more even skin in general. You know, especially when they're wearing less makeup these days. You know, we were talking about like not, you know, just that whole minimalism, skin minimalism, and constantly looking at their skin on a video. I mean, isn't it just so taxing how we're constantly looking at ourselves on these videos?
Even now, we're on Zoom and we're just looking.
I noticed every little flaw on my face. It's so like it's so obvious to us. So, you know, you want a simple approach. You don't want to have to bombard your skin with a million things, but you want something that really, really works, you know, and really looking for information and educating yourself. It's all around us. Consumers are really confused. There's so much information being thrown at people on ingredients. So how do you get a very specific conversation, you know, tailor fit to you, with the right prescription and regimen of products, with the right ingredients that are right for your skin? Clinique's Even Better Clinical Dark Spot Corrector and Interrupter really does help to visibly reduce dark spots. It's right behind you. There it is. A white bottle.
Can you reach it?
Can you get it? There you go.
This is our QVC moment. Here we have it in the flesh.
It's not just for dark spots, but it's also for acne scars and uneven skin tone. But you know what's really great about it? It also helps to soothe skin. So it prevents new dark spots from forming. People don't realize too much that irritation can cause more hyperpigmentation.
Absolutely.
So even while you're taking care of your skin and you don't want to bombard it with harsh stuff, you want to create an environment that's soothing and calming, so you don't continue the cycle of inflammation and therefore have the problem. You know, the natural inclination is to blast and fade, you know, your dark spots away or your acne scars, but being too aggressive can sometimes be more
counterproductive, isn't it?
It really can be. So the magic of Clinique's Even Better is that we target the dark spots in a multi-pronged way, and we do it with a very proprietary bioengineered complex of ingredients. We call it CL302, contains vitamin C and salicylic acid. Plus we have a soothing complex that includes gyokuro extract, which is a very special green tea that comes from Japan that's harvested once a year. And it really helps to keep the skin in a state of calm to prevent future damage of dark spots. So you've got repair and you've got prevention, and you're always keeping the skin in a state of calm so it can repair itself.
What I would love to touch on, actually, that I found really interesting about this is the study that was conducted on 500 plus women. I love the fact that, because we do have, of course, you know, there are tons of products that claim to do this sort of thing and deal with dark spots and hyperpigmentation and brightness in general, because regardless of what, you know, issues different people have with their skin, I think brightness is something that absolutely everybody
Universal.
wants. And what I love about this is the fact that the study was conducted on such a vast you know, number of women from so many different ethnicities and races and skin tones and so on. I thought it was really impressive. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud of that, because remember, I started off this conversation talking to you about how innovation is really understanding all skin. I mean, like I said, we're born from a doctor's office. You know, we are about understanding everybody's unique skin. And so we said, why not test this on a very large number of women of all skin tones. So we did a 500 plus panel on Fitzpatrick skin tones 1 through 6. So very light to deep. And we also included women of different ethnicities. So that's why the panel, the N size is so large, because it's not just about skin tones. We took it one step further. So Caucasian, Black, African-American, Afro-Caribbean, Hispanic, Asian, Indian subcontinent, and then Asian, Far East, China, Korea, Japan. It's just amazing. And what's amazing is that this formula is definitely the gift that just keeps on giving. You know, hyperpigmentation, unevenness of skin tone, dullness. It's an emotional thing for people. It's like acne, kind of. You just want to get rid of it. You know, you want it to go away, and you want your skin to glow. You want your skin to be even, and you want to get rid of that acne scar, and you want to get rid of that dark spot. So it's so amazing what we got back in terms of our responses from that very large scale. Like 93% said that their skin felt soothed and calmed. 84% said that their skin was more radiant. 90% said their skin was brighter. 89% said their skin looked more even. 1% said that the look of their dark spots, including sunspots, was reduced. And 83% said that the look of blemish marks was reduced in a very short period of time. You know, these are usually difficult things to resolve, especially an acne scar. That takes forever to go away. You know, so, you know, in a short study on such a wide population of not only skin tones, but different women of different ethnicities, we were very, very proud of the results we got. It certainly is something, you know, to really shout about. The product is very much loved by everyone and works.
Amazing.
Thank you, Janet. I mean, like you said, I think the work being done by you as a brand and Estée Lauder Companies as a brand is amazing. And actually, Liz, I'd love to bring you on at this point, because Janet mentioned one of the ingredients was a green tea extract from Japan, but actually we're seeing so much innovation, both in ingredients and trends in general, coming from Asia. I'd love to know what Origins are doing, you know, what innovation they're leaning into from the continent. Like, what can you share with us about some exciting skincare trends coming from Origins?
Well, you know, Asian women have beautiful skin. You know, it would make perfect sense that the region has a deep understanding of skin to create some of really the most noteworthy trends. There's also a really profound appreciation for natural ingredients and the power within them in the East. You know, what was used in traditional medicine or a regional remedy has now become validated by science. You know, Asian women are really at the forefront of products, ingredients, textures that deliver the most effective skincare benefits. And layering is a great example of a skincare concept that was sort of initiated by Asian women and is slowly moving its way to the West. Asian consumers they'll layer multiple products for multiple benefits and really spend time on their skincare routines. They really invest in their skincare routines. In the West, we're always looking for shortcuts. You know, it's a multi-purpose product that can achieve a faster result is always better. But really this notion of layering is what gave rise to products like treatment lotion or essence, right? So
We've got one here, actually.
Yes, here's one we prepared.
That's a biggie for us. We'll talk about it in a sec.
Yeah,
Treatment lotions are a staple, you know, in Asian skincare. They're the prep step after cleansing, before applying your serum or your moisturizer. And a treatment lotion, even though the word lotion is in the name, it's a water, right? It's a
Yeah,
beautiful,
yeah.
watery, like a beauty water almost, which is different than a toner because a toner is really the last step in your cleansing regimen and it's wiped off, right? It removes all traces of cleanser, whereas a treatment lotion is actually the first step in your skincare routine and it's gently pressed into skin. Now, the one you held up, our Mega Mushroom Treatment Lotion, contains
Yes.
fantastic
Love.
moisture grabbing hyaluronic acid.
See it?
It provides a lightweight veil of moisture. It's also skin soothing and redness reducing, and that's based on mushrooms, a well-known ingredient from Asia that has been used for centuries to comfort and calm sensitive skin. Now, our Mega Mushroom Treatment Lotion contains reishi mushroom, fermented chaga mushroom, and cordyceps. In fact, the entire Mega Mushroom collection harnesses and releases the power of mushrooms, which is why our Dr. Well treatment lotion is not only a #1 cult product in Asia, it's our #1 product globally. Really a high performer.
Wow, I had no idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's impressive. That's
And I
impressive.
think, Liz, before we came on, there was a sort of application method that you kind of recommend to people.
Yeah,
so for those who might
we
have
have a
received it
very
or want to
simple.
purchase it, yeah, what's your tip of how to apply?
We have a very simple, little easy to remember ritual that we recommend called shake, pour, pat. So basically,
Oh, I love
Shake,
that.
pour, pat.
Okay,
shake, pour, pat.
Shake.
So shake, then pour just a few drops into your
just a
palm.
few drops.
That's
Okay.
it. And then palms together.
And then you just, I
Pat
won't
right
pat it
into
into my
skin.
skin yet, but
Pat.
then you just pat it in.
And
Okay.
press into skin. Gently
Yes.
press in.
Yeah.
And really,
If anyone has this at
I love the
home,
smell.
please join us.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
lotions are, if you haven't gotten, anyone who hasn't gotten into using lotions, once you start, you won't be able to stop.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal. And I think for me, certainly, I love it. Also, if you have oilier skin and you don't necessarily want to use heavier, heavier creams, it's great for that as well. It's just a wonderful way of treating the skin and hydrating the skin.
It's a great product. Everyone really can benefit from using this product. I always say, every man, woman, and child will benefit from using Dr. Well treatment lotion. It's suitable for all skin types, and it was tested on sensitive skin. If you fill a room with 100 women, you ask them who has sensitive skin, I think everybody raises their hand, right?
Yeah.
The reality is there are times now in everyone's life. I mean, Janet talked about it, when we need a little extra care, right? I mean, our skin is faced with a dozen assaults on a daily basis. But what we hear most about treatment lotion is you don't realize how good it is until you stop using it. Our loyal users tell us how obsessed they are with this product, not for what they see, but for what they don't see. Things like irritation or flare-ups or redness or even breakouts. We have all sorts of anecdotal evidence of people using this product on acne-prone skin with great results just because it takes the red out. Mega mushrooms add strength, they add resilience to skin, they make irritable skin a little less irritable. And there's also that oily skin customer who does not want to put on a heavy lotion. There's the dry skin customer who will benefit from the added hydration of this lotion. And it's the first layer before your serum or moisturizer that preps skin for the treatment to follow. It actually enhances the penetration of your treatment to follow. So I always like to think you get more bang for your buck if you're using a treatment lotion first. It makes skin more penetrable. So the treatment to follow will get in very easily. And it's really a great choice to quiet and calm and soothe facial redness. We even hear from guys. We even hear from men who use this product post-shave. So it's really truly for everyone.
And I think what you're saying is quite interesting because whilst I wouldn't consider myself a sensitive skin type, we've all had moments where there's been a flare up or you've had a reaction to something,
absolutely,
some sort of inflammation, and having something in your beauty arsenal that you can just
and won't antagonize your skin even further, I think is great to have. I just want to go back just a little bit to what you were saying about the process in which you use this lotion, because I think a lot of people are really interested in that. Okay, so you cleanse and then you use your
Treatment
Then you
lotion.
use the lotion, okay, and
And
then
you
you
follow
follow
it
it on with your
serum,
serum and
moisturizer, protect
Okay,
the face with
fantastic.
SPF, all of the normal steps, but it really is the prep step. It's really after cleansing, before serum, and it
Okay.
really gives skin that kind of added benefit of allowing things to penetrate more readily. It's pre-wetting skin, so things get in.
Great.
Does that make sense?
Prep
Yeah,
step. I
yeah,
like what
prep
you said
step.
about it being a prep step. I think
Yes,
that's
yeah,
very good.
because
It's a good
everyone
way.
always wants to know, where do I use it? How does it fit into my skincare
Yeah.
regime? So that's great.
Absolutely. And I think talking about, obviously we've got treatment lotion. Liz, if you'll allow me, a bit of a shout out to another brand hailing from Korea, Dr.Jart. So this is another one, talking about those products that you have in your beauty arsenal that you can pull the lever when you're having a bit of a flare up or a moment, the color correcting treatment. So it kind of looks green in the jar, but it's another product that you can use to really help calm and soothe irritation. And I can see all of your questions that are coming in. There's so much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
my
there's
goodness.
a lot of irritation out there.
Yes,
So
yeah.
Liz, we're speaking.
Think about the world we live in. I mean,
Yes, exactly. I just think
we're bombarded with assaults every day, every hour of the day. I mean, even inside we are exposed. So there's so many reasons to want to build resilience, right? Want to build our own defense system. I mean, I think I wrote myself in the script, the idea here is this is kind of like a daily vitamin for your skin. It gives you that defense mechanism, and it gives you immunity, and I think never before has the concept of immunity been so relevant, right, to all of us. So the whole idea of sort of bolstering skin, giving it strength, giving it reinforcement, is very desirable to almost everybody.
And I think you touched on something, Liz, actually. Funmi, I'd like to ask you a question about this idea. We've been inside a lot.
Yeah.
We've all been through quite a tumultuous almost 2 years.
Yes.
Funmi wrote an excellent piece for us about the future of skincare and, coming out of the pandemic, what are we looking at? What can we expect from our skincare routines? And you spoke to a whole host of experts, but I'd just love to know like your learnings and coming out of this time. And hopefully, we are moving into.
I hope so. Yeah. A new, more joyful time.
A new era. But like, what does it mean for our skincare routines?
I mean, I think there are a number of things here. So, during the pandemic, I found that what a lot of experts were talking about, and I'm sure all of you can probably testify to this, that a lot of people were looking at their skincare regimes as a form of self-care. And that probably started out quite positively, and then it probably ended quite negatively in the sense that a lot of people were trying a lot of different things and combining a lot of products and a lot of ingredients that weren't necessarily beneficial for the skin. But one thing that did come out of that was really positive is understanding the importance of routine, understanding that your skin is a living, breathing organ that needs routine, and it needs certain products, and it needs you to listen to what it wants and feed it accordingly. Does your if we're looking at moisturizing, for instance, I think there are a lot of people who probably just assume that, oh, okay, I'll just use one moisturizer all year long, regardless of what my skin is saying. But now we're listening to our skin much more. Like, if we look at, and I've got one here, I've got the OG here of La Mer, the moisturizing cream. If we look at a brand like La Mer, for instance, there are 5 key moisturizers that they have in the range, whereby
different textures.
Exactly, different textures, and that you can use at any point in time, maybe over the course of the year, or whether maybe your hormones are saying something else, and so your skin is responding in a different way. I always say that people need a wardrobe of moisturizers, because your skin, it's not static. Your skin lives and breathes and moves. Changes, and you have to,
like Janet was saying, hormones.
Absolutely, all of those things. And we have the environmental stresses, and then we have the inner stresses, and all of those things really affect how we how our skin reacts. So I think those things have become, people have become much more conscious of that. And rather than just looking at skincare, yes, as a form of self-care, because I think, you know, we have to find the joy wherever we can, you know, wherever we find it, we take it right now, but also looking at skincare as healthcare. You know, it's about the health of the skin and what the skin needs and feeding it accordingly.
I love that skincare is healthcare. I think
Yeah.
that's, and you know, again, seeing all of your questions coming in, I feel like that's resonating with a lot of people. So please keep your questions coming. We will have time to answer them at the end.
We will.
We still have so much to get through. You know, talking a bit more about sort of post-pandemic skincare, Janet, I'd love to bring you back and just talk a bit more about, you know, from Clinique, what learnings did you have as a brand in terms of how consumers were engaging with skincare during this time? You know, what did you learn and what are you bringing forward?
I mean, it was just fascinating. I mean, it's been an incredible 2 years of learning. You know, we're approaching 2 years already in lockdown, you know. And what we found very, very quickly was that people just went back to safety. Like you were talking about, you know, healthcare for your skin, like people, you want to be safe. They went back to the things they can trust, things that they can rely on, you know, regimens that they knew worked on their skin, simple, basic, everyday care, to your point. You know, COVID-19 reinforced the trust in science, you know, and in expert authorities. Safety and hygiene became top priority for everybody. Consumers want to know, you know, that they can trust their products to work and they can trust that they work safely and not irritate the skin. So Clinique's proposition of allergy tested and 100% fragrance free became top of mind again for everybody. I mean, think about it. We've been around for over 50 years. Sometimes allergy tested, fragrance free, what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, now all of a sudden people were like, that's interesting and I want that, you know? So it was something we haven't wavered from for 50 plus years. You know, not once do we waver from any of the safety testing, any of the allergy testing in any one of our products. If anybody's got any kind of irritation or noise, we go back to the bench and we reformulate. We never wavered from that. But now all of a sudden it became really, really important. You know, all these shifts in consumers' mindset, brands also have to be agile. I think it was really, really important when the stores closed, we shifted to virtual selling and online. We ensured a high touch experience. All of these things were so important to consumers because they couldn't have that face-to-face experience anymore. So it was so important to still have that trusted, you know, advisor, that Clinique consultant, the ambassador, you know, who knows so much about the brand. We quickly pivoted to hosting live virtual selling events. So through the pandemic, you know, as people were staying home, you know, there was also less of a need for makeup every day, which made skincare, to your point, a priority for consumers. You know, being on these Zoom calls all day, staring at yourself, you know, noticing the condition of your skin, you know, across the board, more of a two-way dialogue between consumers and brands, which has been accelerated due to the ease of, you know, really easy connecting via social media and, you know, just understanding how things work, talking about specific ingredients, the art of chemistry behind how product works to provide great skin. You know, consumers will continue to grow their understanding and knowledge of skincare. It hasn't stopped. You know, safety is just top of mind a lot now. They want to know that their ingredients that they're putting on their skin is safe. They want to know where it comes from, not only where it comes from, but how is it manufactured? You know, transparency, you know, sustainability, all of these things are super, super important. They're becoming more aware of these things. So, you know, it's and also shifting, right? You were talking about a regimen of products, shifting your routine, knowing your skin, to your point, knowing your skin and knowing what it's going through and giving it a shift to address a concern. It's super important to be able to listen to skin. You know, look at all of the skin issues we've had wearing masks. I mean, it's just overwhelming. And because, you know, Clinique is so close to our dermatologists, they were telling us what their patients were saying. There was so much contact dermatitis, lots of dry, patchy skin, lots of acne, tons of redness, you know, damaged barrier. Wearing that mask with the humidity and the bacteria on your skin, you know, for hours and hours really wreaked havoc on skin. So how do you how do you shift your routine? Proper cleansing, gentle cleansing, but a really good moisturizer. Something that's really going to work, like Clinique's Moisture Surge. Something that's going to give you 100 hours of continuous moisturization for dehydrated skin, which is what you're really going through when you wear a mask all day for hours.
Yeah, maskne is real.
Yes.
I think it's something that everyone can relate to. Janet, thank you for your amazing insights. What I would love to do now is pivot the conversation ever so slightly and invite Gabrielle onto our panel. Gabrielle, the skinification of makeup, that's something that we're obsessed with. Obsessed. I love it as a term. I love it as a concept.
Yeah, and I think it's something that I'm just surprised it's taken so long for people to start thinking about it.
Yeah,
really.
So, you know, maybe do you want to just tell us, what is the skinification of makeup and why is it so important?
Sure. So this is something that Bobbi Brown Cosmetics as a brand, we have been focused on from the beginning. You know, we know that skincare benefits have become super important now in recent years. And as you guys said, people are starting to kind of expect and want skincare benefits in every single product that they use. So for Bobbi Brown, it's really kind of a very natural step. Especially through the eyes of a makeup artist and through the lens of makeup artistry, is that great makeup starts with skin. And the quality and integrity of your skin is really important. And the better your skin looks and feels, the better your makeup is going to wear. So that's something that's always been, we think of skin as a direct link, skincare and makeup is a direct link for us. So it's something that's always been on our radar. And when we're creating our formulas, we're always thinking of skincare benefits because we really believe that moisturized, hydrated skin is healthy skin. And when you're constantly treating your skin, your makeup is going to wear better. So especially in foundation, this is true because that's really where you want your makeup to look most natural. You want to see your skin first and not see makeup. So when we created our intensive serum foundation, we really had this in mind. I'm sorry?
I've got one here. I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, great.
It's fabulous.
Such a good product.
It's such a good product. And it does go on like a serum, which I think is really the acid test for any really good foundation. So yeah, sorry to interrupt.
No. So I mean, I think it's so important to have the textures. We pay so close attention to the textures of our foundations, especially. We want them to feel like you're applying skincare. We want it to feel like you're applying a serum, and that, yes, you're getting all the benefits of foundation, but that is, you know, not compromising on the performance at all, but always having that comforting, nourishing textures on your skin. So we created our intensive serum foundation around the health enhancing benefits of traditional Chinese and herbal medicine, and especially around the super ingredient of king herb cordyceps mushroom. And this is something that we discovered.
Again.
There's a common theme. It's all about the mushrooms tonight.
Mushroom.
I know, and it's super interesting. I mean, the mushroom industry is booming in terms of just ingestible and also topical. I mean, people are really kind of understanding the benefits of these amazing ingredients, and also THM in general, you know, I think is, you know, becoming much more mainstream. We actually discovered this ingredient on a market visit in Shanghai, and we were wandering through the traditional Chinese medicine clinics, the TCM clinics, and we kind of were so intrigued by the look of this mushroom, and, you know, speaking with the clinicians, the activity and the benefits and the health benefits, and the rich history, the preciousness. I mean, we were just kind of blown away. And how this ingredient has been used years or thousands of years as a natural energy booster in the body. And what we learned from our amazing scientists and chemists was that this also works on your skin in the same way. So we developed a cordyceps ferment to maximize the efficacy and to really get the most out of this, the ingredient. So it increases energy within the skin cells, and it really gives renewed energy and vitality to the skin. And that gives an amazing, healthy radiance. And if you think about it, if your skin is energized and just like your body is, you're going to be functioning at its optimum level and its optimum potency, potential. And that's really what you want. So your skin is able to protect itself better. It's able to kind of, hold in the good things like the moisture, and your barrier is maintained. So it's really an amazing ingredient that is at the foundation of a lot of amazing benefits to the skin. So yeah, so behind this, we also then got really deep into the whole TCM recipes, and we kind of added different ingredients like reishi and bamboo to soothe the skin, which we know that, is definitely something that's really important right now. And we added in ginseng, which boosts the activity of the cordyceps in terms of energy to your skin. And then of course, we are big believers in moisturizing skin. We've added hyaluronic acid, which is a super skin moisturizer, really holds moisture to the skin and gives it a plump and smooth appearance, which again keeps the quality of your makeup wearing longer. So and then we recently reformulated because we, learning about the mushroom and different ways of processing, we were able to increase the level of cordyceps in our foundation to 10 times the amount. And so this gave us an amazing claim and benefit of 12-hour radiance. So that you're putting it on your foundation in the morning and that it's lasting with you throughout the day. So we're really excited about going even deeper into this ingredient and to the whole TCM world, really.
I know it's something that you and I have talked about before, Finmi, but I love it when brands reformulate, because rather than being like, oh, this is a cult product, we never need to change it. And it's something that we've also spoken about with Dr. Nadine with Estée Lauder Advanced Night Repair and reformulating that. I just love it when brands are like, okay, we can improve on perfection.
Fantastic.
There's new innovations, and I absolutely love that.
It's progressive, and I think that technology is moving on so quickly, excitingly so. Why not take advantage of that, of all the incredible research that all of your brands do in the area of skincare and ingredients and so on. So I mean, I love a reformulation. I think it's incredibly exciting. I know some people in the past probably looked at it as a negative thing, but it's not. So for anyone who's thinking, oh, reformulation, not a good thing. No, it's not. It's a great thing. It's really progressive.
And actually, I'm going to go slightly off on a separate tangent very quickly, but Dr. Nadine, I can see you nodding furiously. Tell us, I just think that you're in the labs of Estée Lauder and you're seeing innovation all day, every day. Like, at what point are you like, yep, it's time to reformulate? Because I just think that's so interesting.
So exactly to your point, it's not bad to reformulate and upgrade. Innovation and technology are progressing and improving, and let's take advantage of it. I mean, if we take the example of this little brown bottle, right? Advanced Night Repair, it takes years. So the ideas,
it's wonderful.
So the ideas start in the lab, of course, but it takes years. For the last innovation, it took us over 7 years. So 7 years of research. Why? Because usually we are inspired by what we see in the medical field, the latest research, the latest innovation, as I was saying. This one was coming directly from epigenetics research, which is how you look, the impact of the environment on your skin, right? And how it damages your skin. Most of the work in these big research areas that are done in the medical field are done to cure disease, right? Not to help skin. So for us, when we hear something that we think is going to be a great idea, we take it in our house, we develop the models, we partner with collaborators at universities. That was with Dr. Paolo Sasson-Corsi on the last one, really to understand how it can apply now for the benefit of the skin. Really, we realize we have something big, because of course we're not going to go to the brands and tell them, oh, I had this idea today, we're going to upgrade Advanced Night Repair tomorrow. It takes already a few years for us to put all of this in place in the lab to see how skin cells are responding, how skin cells is going to benefit from it. And then, of course, once you understand this, you have to develop the technology, which is another big step to go, right? Sometimes we have great ideas and we cannot find a technology. So the technology development, to the point that Janet, Liz, and Gabrielle was making, has to be safe. That's number one. It has to be stable in formulation. It might seem that it's easy, but we have developed so many beautiful ingredients that once you put them in formulation are losing completely their activities, that then it has to go back to the lab. So all of this has to take place first before we say, okay, I've seen this technology is going to be able to push the performance of advanced night repair. I want you to take a big breath here. Advanced night repair is so performant already that for us to find the right technology, the right discovery, the right breakthrough to push it even further, that explains why it takes years. But that's also for us the big challenge to go to the brand now. Once we have seen you're pushing the skin cells to do more collagen, to be able to repair, to be able to sustain the damage that is being done by all of the environment that we were talking about, and even more during COVID, that's when we say, okay, now we have something, we go talk to the brand, and we're going to establish the plan. And again, it took 7 years to talk to the brand and then develop the full plan with the brand. So that's what an innovation takes. And to the point that Janet was making, people are looking for safe brands, serious brands, the proof of the products working. We have proven over and over on thousands of women and men around the world now that advanced night repair is the product for everyone. Why? Because we are working on these master regulators that everyone has, right? Circadian rhythm, you all have a circadian rhythm. Fortunately, when you don't sleep, you lose it. Repair, you all have repair. Now, the visible signs of aging are going to be different with ethnicities, but if you do work on core mechanisms, that's how you can develop high-performance product that is true for everyone.
Yeah, and I think, all of the brands, all of you guys joining us tonight, you all have such iconic hero products, obviously for good reason. And it's just all of this amazing work that's going on in the labs that is making this all come to life. So I'm going to keep everything moving. We've still got so much to get through, and I'm very conscious that the questions are flooding in. So let's maybe just do a quick fire round
on ingredients.
Because we're all obsessed with ingredients. The UK consumer, we all know, loves ingredients. We're going to have Liz, Gabrielle, Dr. Nadine. So if we had to do a quick fire round, I know everyone's obsessed with mushrooms. So we've ticked that box. Gabrielle, if you had to sort of choose one skincare ingredient that everyone needed in their routine, what would you say it was?
Or what we should look out for?
Yes, or what we should look out for in the future.
For 2022, I would say we're definitely going to see a lot of vitamins and different ways of using vitamins on the skin. Again, always inspired by what you put into your body. And I think HA for us is a super ingredient because it really increases, hyaluronic acid.
HA for short in the skincare world.
Yes, it really, really does make such a difference on the skin and plumping and smoothing and, just improves your overall quality of skin. And as you guys said, mushrooms. So we know, that'll be big as well. And plant-based ingredients. There's so many things. And especially if you look at all the different skin issues that are coming up and skin concerns, will be all ingredients that kind of satisfy the skin sensitivity and barrier and protecting of the skin, blue light, things that are really kind of first and foremost in your mind right now.
And maybe can we give a little shout out? You mentioned vitamins just before, but your enriched face base, one of the brand's best-selling products.
Here, actually.
A little hero moment for that, please.
Okay,
primer and moisturizer works really well with the foundation, right?
I love it.
Yes, it is actually our bestseller for a reason. You know, we said before, it all starts with skin for us. And so prepping skin for makeup is super important. And this is a super hybrid product that is beloved for that reason. It's the ultimate moisturizer and primer in one. And it really primes through plumping and smoothing. The texture is rich, but really lightweight on the skin. It helps to smooth the surface of the skin, giving a really beautiful canvas for your makeup. And then it works throughout the day. So it's constantly moisturizing and plumping your skin and keeping your makeup looking fresh. Of course, it is packed with our nourishing vitamins, B, C, and E, shea butter that we love, that's super smoothing. And again, the hyaluronic acid for moisturizing and plumping. So, you know, for our brand, we develop our skincare for a very clear purpose, and that's really to prep and prime skin for makeup. And so, you know, doing that through moisture, enhancing your makeup. And that's why vitamin enriched face base is such a star. And not to, you know, minimize, but it's funny when you ask people why they love this product so much, one of the first things they'll say is the smell, the scent.
Yeah, I was about to say that, and I'm like, no, we're talking about ingredients.
Yes, I know.
But
it's important.
Love the smell.
I think it's important
It
because
is so
you
important.
don't. Yeah, because even, you know, even if a skincare product does miraculous things, you know, if it smells really awful, I mean, you'd be hard pushed to use it. So let's be real.
So texture, I mean, for us, it's a sensorial, it's an experience, you know, so it starts, it's everything. We pay so much attention to the texture and how it melts into your skin, obviously how it works with makeup. But when you open that jar in the morning and you smell that grapefruit and geranium, you know, essential oil scent, it's invigorating. It wakes you up. It makes you feel really, you know, good. It kind of like mood lifting. So I think it's an experience and really important. And I think that this is, a product that is so near and dear to our hearts. It's actually one of the products that I first developed in this brand when I got here. And an interesting story behind it is we launched it as a moisturizer, and the name of it was Vitamin Enriched Face Cream. And shortly after we launched it, we were getting all kinds of calls from our makeup artists, and they were coming into the office telling us how much they love this product as a primer. And this was, you know, years ago when primers were really based on like silicone, and this was kind of like a moisturizing primer. So they were just flooding, you know, information to us in terms of what customers were saying and how much they loved this product as a primer, and that it was the best primer they have ever used. So the next run of the jars, we changed the name to Vitamin Enriched Face Base.
Face base, yeah.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah. So it really became from our makeup artists, you know, the positioning of it, and just the performance is really amazing in that area.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle. So Dr. Nadine, what about you? What's the ingredient we all need now and going forwards?
So like Gabrielle, I would say, you know, it's going to be difficult, but for us, we do believe really in fermentation. We have actually over 30 years of fermentation experience in our lab, where we have capabilities, where we do create ferments in our lab here. And we were the first one to use Bifidus actually in advanced night repair 30 years ago. We have built on this, creating lactobacillus ferment, which is in the microessence treatment lotion. And there is new discoveries that, again, I won't be able to talk about. That is going to come from our fermentation research, really creating a very, very powerful technology. Why? Because ferments, if you think about ferments and what they are a combination of potent molecules, right? This is a factory of potent molecules. When you know about how to manipulate fermentation, you then know how to create the most potent molecules that you can introduce in your products. These are all naturals. These are all working together in synergy to give you even more benefits. So that's one. I will say also, as we were talking about it at the beginning, from nature. We've been inspired by nature for many years. I mean, for many years. I mean, one of the best examples was our exclusive moringa extract that we have in Supreme, where really we understood how these moringa seeds can survive in their environment and defend themselves, creating very potent molecules. And then you take this understanding in the lab, mimicking their environment, but pushing really the stress to them for them to produce even more molecules and more potent molecules. So again, from nature, now we have learned, I cannot say too much yet either, we have learned how,
You're killing us.
You're too good. You're too good, Dr. Nadine.
how we can watch nature and really understand from flowers when it is the best time to harvest the flowers to take the most potent molecules. And that will come soon also in a new product. But again, all from nature, natural molecules. Huh? Yeah.
Watch this space, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the two, nature, fermentation, highly potent molecules being developed here.
Okay, great. Now, Liz, over to you.
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, I am the poster child for mushrooms. You know, I can't say enough good things about mushrooms. You know, there are over 14,000 species of mushrooms. They outnumber traditional plants, so there's a lot to choose from. And you know, Origins is a brand that looks to nature for inspiration and science for validation. So we do use all of these ingredients, ferments. We've fermented a mushroom. We've fermented chaga to get a boost in its anti-irritant power. So we use biotechnology. But I do think a new category that we'll look into in terms of future is adaptogens, adaptogenic herbs, you know, which are getting more and more popular as people consider self-defense, immunity, rebuilding, resilience. Ingredients like astragalus, schizandra, these, even reishi is an adaptogenic herb, which is, you know, in our every single one of our mega mushroom products. So I do think, you know, there's not enough to say about nature. You know, if you think about it, modern science is 400 years old. Nature is 400,000 years old. So we have the benefit of hindsight, right? We have the benefit of wisdom. So lots to look forward to in terms of what the abundance that nature brings us.
Amazing. Thank you, Liz. And then I think we might just need to ask you, Janet, the same question, and then go to everyone else's questions because we're speeding through time.
Yes, yeah.
But Janet, if you could give our viewers the one ingredient that we need to look forward to.
I don't know if I could say one ingredient because I don't think there's a magic bullet. You know, we like, once again, we tend to think like the doctors think, you know, like, but we are very much, you know, we also love complexes, like, you know, putting peptides with retinoids and, you know, adding vitamin C with salicylic acid and bioengineered, you know, ingredients from pharmaceutical companies. You know, how do these, when you look at all of these complexes, you know, the philosophy Clinique has is that they work in a pronged approach to correct what's happening to the skin, because it's not just one thing that's going on in skin when you have hyperpigmentation. It's 5 or 6 things, including irritation, you know, or when your skin is, you know, losing collagen. It's not just one thing, it's many things. So we take a complex approach, and all of those ingredients, things that people know and love. We know retinoids work. We know salicylic acid works. We know vitamin C works. What happens when you put them with peptides? What happens when you put them with other ingredients that are known to be, you know, tyrosinase inhibitors, you know, and that's where the magic happens.
Yes. Yeah. And talking about the combination of those ingredients, because I very much agree, you know, there are a lot of people who ask about specific ingredients, and there are specific ingredients that are wonderful and brilliant and so on, but it is all about the formulation. I wanted to go to just to talk about, and I've got one here. It's this Glamglow's clearing, it's the super mud. It's an iconic product, really. It's a cult product, isn't it? And this has salicylic and lactic acid, and those two are actually two of my favorite ingredients. But again, it's about formulation, and this is a great formulation, and how they're used together. So it helps to exfoliate the skin. but it also helps to brighten the skin and unclog. So salicylic is great for unclogging the pores, isn't it?
Yeah.
And experts will correct me if I'm wrong, but it's fantastic for declogging the pores. But what I love is that it's been combined with the lactic acid, which also brightens.
Together.
Yeah.
And actually, this is a perfect segue because we have so many questions specifically on brightening and resurfacing.
Amazing.
So at this point, thank you for that for me. I would like to basically invite all of our experts to unmute. And I'm just gonna try to even touch the tip of the surface with all of the amazing questions that are coming in.
We have so many.
So we have a ton, and I'm gonna pull out a few, and to our illustrious panel, if you would like to answer, please jump in, because these questions are open to all. So hello, lovely ladies. I struggle with redness. Can you recommend any tips to get rid of it? So I think that's something that everyone has touched on individually in terms of the products that work. Can we do anything to actually get rid of it?
I'm going to chime in on that one.
Yes, Liz, please do.
Yeah, I mean, the Mega Mushroom range was expressly created for irritation, to take redness out of skin, and we hear from more and more women that it's becoming a concern, whether it's environmental or whether you're just inherently a flusher blusher, that people are aware of their redness in their skin. And we have very, strong scientific support on the mushrooms themselves, on reishi, on chaga, on cordyceps, all of the mushrooms as anti-irritants. Dr. Andrew Weil is our sort of our guru, our health guru, who advised us, in terms of creating this line of mega mushrooms. He believes that, the root cause of aging and disease is inflammation. And what he brought to us was the concept of using mushrooms to quiet irritation, to remove redness from skin. So the whole range was created with that in mind, to remove redness from skin.
I would just like to jump in also, just to answer that question too, because I think it's also to what Liz was saying too, and inflammation is really like the key to a lot of different illnesses and skin concerns. And I think it's important to look at the root cause there too, because there's a skin concern, skin sensitivity, that started in the East, was really noticed there. And it's kind of like moving on to the West, where people are really seeing that their skin, not that they have sensitive skin, but their skin becomes sensitized because of all the environmental aggressors that we see coming at us now. And so it really stems from your moisture barrier and keeping that intact, because that is what keeps your skin protected, keeps all the good things in and keeps all the bad things out. And as you age and as you're exposed to different, hormones or climate or sun pollution, it kind of starts to degrade the moisture barrier and you start to get these little holes. So it's really important to kind of replenish your, whether it be ceramides or lipids or different types of vitamins that are going to rebuild that moisture barrier and plug in those holes. And that's really going to protect your skin. And it will then limit the amount of redness, and it'll fight, the inflammation from the source. And it'll really kind of solve the problem from the source, so that you're going to experience less redness and less irritation because you're protecting your skin with those amazing ingredients. And rebuilding and protecting, I think, is key to a lot of the issues that we're all seeing on our skin and our skin issues today.
And Dr. Nadine,
I would like
I was just going to say, Dr. Nadine, we used to call it leaky skin, remember?
Yeah.
And how important it is to keep the
skin?
barrier intact. That leaky skin needs to be fixed. And I think it's worse now, right? Because of everything that's going on around us and the mask wearing.
Absolutely.
It's so much worse. But that term you said, when your barrier is so key. People don't really understand it, but it's so important to maintain a healthy, strong barrier so that you can withstand the elements around you.
I would just add, it has become such a huge concern due to COVID that has accentuated all of the sensitivity in many different ways. Of course, because of the environment, but also because of our own stress, right? It has been such a stressful time. We have been wearing masks, and now almost everyone is sensitive. Also, we're always in front of our device, which is also accentuating the inflammation. So the key here is really to stop the inflammation as soon as possible. And really, I mean, for us at the Estée Lauder brand, we developed this product, which is called Advanced Night Repair Reset Concentrate, really to attack the inflammation with very strong anti-irritation molecules, but also by addressing a whole new area that is being looked at in the medical field, which is called the resolution phase of inflammation, where in your skin, you have actually the capability to produce your own molecules to fight inflammation. And that's how you're going to resolve inflammation much faster, because now you're going to activate your own natural system in your skin to fight it as soon as possible. And definitely make sure that you are using a great moisturizer to rebuild this barrier, as we were talking about it, because you want to strengthen and really keep the treatment in.
Yeah, brilliant.
Amazing.
Thank you very, very much. Now let's find another one. What about, do you want to ask this one?
I can barely read it.
Okay, don't worry.
I haven't got my glasses.
I'll take this one. Okay, so quite a lot of questions about pores, actually, which I know is something that a lot of people have as a skin concern, is large pores. So this particular question is, I have large pores mainly on my cheeks. I would love to know the best skin routine to help them look less visible. Who would like to take that?
I could take that. I could
Go on,
take that.
Janet.
I could take that, because I think what's so important when you, first of all, pores affect everybody, every age. What people don't understand is that women who are more mature also have large pores. And that's a big concern. So what's really important across the board, no matter how old you are, is proper cleansing, gentle, proper cleansing. That's important to kind of like get rid of the dirt, the debris, the oil, the pollution inside of the pore. So you actually get rid of all of that inside, and you actually, when you do that, you shrink the pore so that the surface of the skin, it looks less noticeable. And then you need to have proper exfoliation. You know, like we were talking about salicylic acid, it just works. You know, it just works. You know, it gets in there, it kills the bacteria, it sweeps away the oil and the debris, and it really refines the texture and the surface of skin. So it makes the pores look even smaller. And then making sure you have a really good moisturizer that balances with lipids and water, because dehydrated skin can look really big, and you can make your pores look even more large with dehydrated skin. You know, and even oily skin is dehydrated and can be dehydrated. So it's really important to balance out the lipids and the water. And hey, if your skin is really, really oily, you tend to have breakouts and spots on your skin. It's important to take care of it on a daily basis, so you prevent the future formation, because that the oil and the dirt that deposits, and then it gets oxidated, and then it turns into an infection. And it really wreaks havoc on the skin. So maintaining that routine of proper cleansing, exfoliating, hydrating, and then if you have acne and you have breakouts, to be able to keep that acne at bay is very important in its maintenance. Now, if your skin is more mature, a product like Smart Serum, which contains retinoid, is also really good to help minimize the appearance of pores over time, because of that cell renewal. You know, it's constantly providing that cell renewal, so it makes your skin look smoother. I will tell you, and I'm going to end with this because I started with this, SPF, because it makes your pores bigger too. The sun is the root of all evil, and it makes your pores large. So keep your sunscreen on. It helps.
Yes. And actually, as I was scrolling through the questions, Janet, I'm just going to tag onto that. Somebody asking, do I need to still wear sun care even though it's cloudy and miserable and grey in London?
100%. That's when the sun's not out and the clouds are out, that's when you don't realize what's happening, but the UVA starts to hit. I mean, Dr. Nadine, you can chime in on this one. I mean, that's the damage. That's the rays that age. You know, that's where it really accumulates. You know, we talk about Nadine and Dr. Tom, they talk about it all the time, that incidental exposure you get just from a quick 15-minute walk outside, even with the clouds and the rain, it accumulates over time. Your skin has a memory, and it remembers all of that. And so with that accumulation comes damage. And with that looks, you know, your skin has issues over time.
Okay, next question. We're powering through. Now we're getting closer to winter. Are there any must-have skincare products or specific routines we need to consider? Love the event in capital letters. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe Liz, maybe there's this one that you could take.
We have a fabulous mask called Drink Up. It's fantastic.
It's so good.
Iconic
It's
product.
so good.
Delicious. It is, you know, Gab talked about barrier. I mean, this is a mask that really is, the skin soaks up the moisture and it repairs barrier. So it is a tremendous mask. It's based on apricot and avocado oils that are really fantastic for skin, that really improve skin's barrier. And if you don't have it for the winter, it is a must-have, a must-buy. And we actually found people at the beginning of the pandemic, we heard sort of just through our guides that people were using Drink Up because they were washing their hands so frequently. They were using it as a hand cream. And it is a fantastic hand cream. Again, the skin sort of soaks it up so you don't get the sort of fingerprints of a crime scene, but you have this magnificent, magnificent veil of moisture. Skin is ultra softened. I mean, again, fantastic ingredients from nature, avocado and apricot seed oil.
Lovely.
And it's great as an overnighter. I can't remember whether it's actually an overnight mask
There
or
are
whether...
two. There are two. There's a 10-minute mask for a quick hydration, and then there's an overnight mask for overnight hydration, because we all know that skin loses moisture at night.
Yes, as we
Right?
sleep.
As our temperature increases, we lose moisture. So it's even more critically important to moisturize overnight. So Drink Up mask is a fantastic opportunity to do so.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Lovely question here, which I'm going to direct to you, Gabrielle, because it's kind of a skincare makeup hybrid question. Hi, lovely ladies. Need help with dark circles under the eyes, please. I think that's something everyone can relate to. Gabrielle, what's your advice?
So I think dark circles is the #1 skin concern in the world. You know, we all kind of are
We're all exhausted.
figuring out. We're all exhausted. We're all stressed. No, but I think, and also, you know, I've born, you know, with my heritage and my, you know, that's like an issue that, you know, is definitely something that's part of like my culture. But I think that we're making great strides in that area in terms of being able to find skincare actives to actually help darkness and brighten under the eye. And as we talked about, you know, there's a lot of different vitamins that we're using and different skin brighteners for underneath the eye that in our vitamin enriched our vitamin enriched eye cream actually has beautiful vitamin rich story that really focuses on under eye brightness and brightening that area, which is so difficult. And really, when you do that, it wakes up your whole face. You know, you kind of like see just a brightness. And just to tag on to that, and know that we're not talking about makeup here, but when you follow that with, we have our concealer and corrector.
Yeah.
I was hoping
which is makeup, but our correctors are really what we call the secret of the universe, because how your corrector works with your concealer is the biggest aha moment that you will ever see. Our correctors are either peach undertone based or bisque, which is more pinky. And depending on your skin tone, you take your corrector, you put that on first to brighten and neutralize your under eye darkness. And then you follow that with a skin tone correct concealer and you layer that over and just to lighten the under eye and bring it back down to skin tone so that it matches the natural tone of your skin. And it is the biggest secret to looking awake. Even you feel awake. You put it on and you actually feel better. You actually feel more awake too. So I think, you know, in combination with an amazing eye cream that really focuses on that issue of under eye darkness, coupled with makeup, you know, a little makeup can't hurt. It really makes a huge, huge difference in your confidence, you know, and how you feel, you know, heading out for your day. So I think it really makes a difference.
That's such a good tip. I think a lot of people forget to use correctors or haven't really discovered them. So that's a very good tip.
One of like my all-time favorites.
They're a little intimidating, but once you figure out your combination,
Yes,
it is
that's the thing,
magical.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's
And I think
magical.
in the same way, you know, Liz was saying about the treatment lotion, it might not be something that inherently you think you need in your routine, but the minute you start using one, you can't be without, and that's exactly the same with the colour
correctors,
corrector.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got time for a couple more questions. There has been a gazillion questions about advanced night repair. So, Dr. Nadine, I'd love to dispel one of the most commonly asked questions, that you can only use it at night. What is the best time to use the serum, and why?
So, I mean, as you said, I mean, the name is Advanced Night Repair. That's how it started. It was called Night Repair. But since then, we upgraded to Advanced Night Repair and really found that the skin circadian rhythm, as we know, is critical. So if we talk about the circadian rhythm and what it is, Liz was talking about nature and how nature has created all these beautiful molecules. All living species on Earth have also adapted to the rotation of the Earth to the day and night cycle, right? And that was essential for us species, living species, to survive on Earth, which means basically during daytime, your skin developed very specific mechanisms that help the skin to protect itself against UV, as we said, against dehydration, etc. So that's why your skin barrier during daytime is actually thicker than during nighttime. Now, as we are following the natural rhythm, when it's getting dark and when you don't see the light, and then I'll come to another point later, when you don't see the light, that's when now the skin is going to switch to repair mode, right? It's going to remove, so clean up all the damage, repair all the damage, and also building the molecules and the proteins and the lipids to be ready for the next morning. So this is what's happening in a perfect world when we are synchronized with our natural rhythm, right? Unfortunately, we know very well that we're not synchronized with this rhythm anymore. We have jet lagged when we used to travel, not anymore. Now we are so stressed, lack of sleep is going to desynchronize your skin. Being in front of device and computers with blue light desynchronize you completely. So we are losing now the ability for your skin not only to protect itself, but to repair. So now it's a double hit. You're accelerating skin aging, and that's why Advanced Night Repair, now with the technology that we have put during 2009, 2012, and now last year, is going to help you to resynchronize with this natural rhythm, even though if you don't sleep, etc., etc. So during daytime, your skin protects. During nighttime, your skin repair. So now it's really a 24-hour treatment where you apply it at night and in the morning, really to get rid of the damage during daytime and to repair at nighttime. Now, and we understand, you know, some people do not have the financial support to use it twice a day. If you have to choose, it's nighttime, but really the best and the highest performance you will get it's when you use it in the morning and at night.
Amazing. And I'll add this, actually, I find it works really well when you mix a little bit of it in with your foundation.
Yeah. The
Yes,
significance.
that's the trick.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think we will have to leave it there because you are all very busy, and the fact that you've been able to take over an hour of your day to talk to us this evening, we are so, so grateful. I want to thank all of our amazing panelists, and I think I'll just share with everybody this one comment that I saw that really stood out, which is such an amazing and inspiring discussion, great panel on topics linking science behind our daily products, which I think sums everything up pretty beautifully.
Yes.
So thank you to everyone who joined us watching. A reminder, please share your social. There are a couple of questions about the mechanism to win the goodie bag. So share any tip that you've learned from our amazing panel tonight. Use the hashtag Future of Skincare. And if you tag British Vogue and any of the brands that are the with the tip that you're discussing, we will pick a winner and we will notify you via DM. But we love to see your posts, so please do share them with us. And that all that leaves us to say is thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. A great rest of day to everyone in the US.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
guys.
Thank you, guys.
you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.